Hello everyone, welcome to session 12 of LTEC 623 Digital Video Design. In this video, we're going to cover 4 topics. First, we're going to summarize your reflections on Video Project 1. Then I want to spend a little time recapping the Fiorella and Mayer article and some of the research experiments referenced in that article. Then I want to share a little bit of news about YouTube Learning. And finally, I want to acknowledge our progression from pre-production into production with Video Project 2. So let's get started. I want to let you know that feedback is coming relevant to Video Project 1. I'm slowly going through each and every one of your videos, and I'm using WeView to give you feedback in that interface. So you'll see specific comments that are time-stamped to your particular video, and then you'll also see some general comments from me as well. I will send you an email alerting you to the fact that I've actually reviewed your video. So stay tuned for that. I'll be in touch. What I wanted to do was spend a little bit of time reflecting on your feedback related to Video Project 1. So what I did is I went through all of your Flipgrid videos and I actually coded your feedback. What were some of the major themes, some of the major takeaways that you folks shared? And I'd just like to briefly go through those. First and foremost, almost all of you agreed that making educational video is a lot of work, it takes time, and it involves a lot of decisions. Makes sense. You also noted that the process changed how you saw the dimensions of video, and that the process raised your appreciation of high-quality instructional videos. You also acknowledged that the end products for Video Project 1 are pretty darn good. I agree. Congratulations, everyone. Also, you noted that now feel more confident about making instructional videos, and you think you can do better next time. Quite a few of you noted that you found WeVideo and WeView easy to use and pretty straightforward in helping you accomplish your goals. Some of you noted that being in front of the camera is challenging. Many of you felt self-conscious. You noticed that you were looking down too soon. You found looking at the camera difficult. And then you also noted that you need to leave room for editing transitions such as fade-ins and fade-out. So I think we all learned a little bit in that particular category. Next, there was some reflections related to visual aesthetics. In particular, you noted that background music can help establish and maintain a certain mood. You also noted that varying angles and visual content such as B-roll and still images can really help draw in the viewer and maintain interest. Another noticing was related to production value, that sound quality, vertical spacing, visual organization, and good lighting all make a difference in how the overall quality of the video emerges. Another point that many of you made is that planning matters. Storyboarding is really helpful. Some of you found your scripts way too long. Some of you realized that there's a real desire to be clear and brief. Having a storyline can make videos more interesting. And some of you shared that you would have liked to have more of a logical flow to the narrative. A few of you noticed that there were many different ways to create interesting instructional videos in the talking head category. We all kind of approach this particular assignment in different ways. So there's a lot of room for creativity with this particular assignment. You also noted that using on-screen text in conjunction with narration needs to be carefully considered. A few of you noted that finding appropriate royalty-free B-roll is difficult. Many of you had unique styles to the tone of your voice, and that you desired having an inviting conversational style to the narrative voiceover. Many of you pointed out that novelty can really make an enjoyable experience for the viewer. Creative introductions are important and can help hook the viewer. Another point was that what was planned in pre-production didn't necessarily work in post-production. Some of your video styles were more formal, whereas others used less formal styles, which was okay. Some of you were surprised by the green screen effect and the results. It wasn't quite what you were expecting. And then finally, many of you noted that the visual and audio transitions are critical and can really make projects look more or less professional depending on how those transitions are handled. So lots of good feedback there, everyone. Thanks for sharing. So now I want to spend a little bit of time recapping the Fiorella and Mayer article from 2018 titled What Works and Doesn't Work with Instructional Video. That particular article actually comes from a special issue in Computers and Human Behavior, and this just came out in 2018. The title of the special issue is Developments and Trends in Learning with Instructional Video. So rather than recapping the article that you actually read, what I want to do is share with you some of the findings from the different articles that are actually in the special issue. But before I do that, let me recap the kind of introductory chapter in this special issue. And these authors point out that instructional video differs from videos watched for entertainment, and that they have the objective to help someone learn about specific concepts or procedures. And they know that learners at all educational levels are watching instructional videos. These can be short knowledge clips, web lectures, how-to demonstrations, and they're happening in a lot of different places. They're being used in traditional courses, in blended courses, in massively online open courses, and in flipped classrooms. Now, for all of those reasons, the editors of this special issue argue that most instructional videos are still created based on the author's or designer's intuitions instead of relying on documented principles derived from scientific research. For that reason, they argue there's an urgent need for more knowledge to build research-based principles for designing instructional video and understanding why those principles work. Again, despite the popularity of video, there's really not a lot of research around the use and design of instructional video. So the aim of this special issue is twofold. One, to better understand the circumstances under which instructional videos do and do not improve learning. And secondly, to learn how instructional videos can be more optimally designed to support learning. So that was kind of the introductory chapter to this special issue. So now let's take a look at some of the specific studies. The first study focused on segmenting, and the question that they asked is, should video designers use segmenting in their videos? And segmenting is breaking a continuous multimedia presentation or video into meaningful chunks, with the learner controlling when the system moves on to the next segment. Now, their rationale for studying this is that segmenting might allow learners to completely digest one segment of a lesson before moving on to the next one. And it might be particularly applicable when the material is complex, fast-paced, or unfamiliar. So to study that question, they set up an experiment with occupational therapy students, and they divided them into 3 groups. And they had them watch non-interactive video, interactive video that was controlled by the learner, or segmented interactive video, which was video that was system-paced. So what did they find? Well, the results showed the superiority of the segmented format for procedural learning. In other words, the designers, the content experts, decided on what the segmentation of the video should be. And that was found to be better than having novices control the video themselves. And the reason for that, they argued, is that novices may not have the knowledge or metacognitive skills to know when they should pause the video. So that was the first study that was looked at. The second study was mixing camera viewpoints. And this particular study asked the following question: is the first-person viewpoint better than other viewpoints, and/or do multiple viewpoints help people learn procedures from video? Now, the rationale for studying this question is that common viewpoints include the learner's perspective, the instructor's perspective, or a mix of both of those perspectives. And the thinking is that different perspectives may engage learners in the learning experience and promote deeper processing. So, how did they study this? Well, they worked with nursing students, and they had those students watch videos demonstrating a complex surgical procedure. And in those videos, some of the videos used an over-the-shoulder view, other videos used a face-to-face view, And a third set of videos used a mix of both viewpoints, in which the perspective switched between the first person to third person throughout the video. So what did the researchers find? Well, the results were pretty clear. Viewing the mixed perspective enhanced students' ability to subsequently reproduce the procedure on a simulated mannequin. In other words, mixing both the first person and third person perspectives was helpful in helping students understand and reproduce the procedure shown in the video. Very important research and something that I think we should all be thinking about as we work on our educational videos. Now I want to share a little bit of news from YouTube. Now I don't really mean to promote YouTube. That's not my intention, but it is the system that I'm using, and in some respects it is the 800-pound gorilla in the social video space. So it is important to pay attention to what's going on here. So the first thing I wanted to note is that YouTube Studio has now moved into a redesign, and they have a beta available here. This is what the beta looks like, and I know some of you are relatively new to producing educational video and perhaps haven't seen this part of YouTube before, so I wanted to show you a little bit about it. So what you're seeing here is actually the video screen, and so when I log into the Creator Studio, this is what I see. I see a list of all my videos, whether they're public or private, and when they were published and how many views they have. But what's really interesting is the amount of analytics available related to these videos. So if you click on the Analytics tab, the first thing you see here is this big graph which is showing the watch time in minutes from week to week to week. And you can see here in this particular screenshots that I have about 1,700 minutes of watch time on my particular videos. And of course, I can adjust the time frame of that particular graph. I can also, if I come down here, I can see which are my top videos as measured by watch time in minutes. And we can see that for some reason, the Session 7 video seems to be the most popular. And then if we look over here, this is very interesting. This is a live update of the latest activity in the last 48 hours. And what's interesting is if you just sit on this page, you can tell that it's periodically updating when somebody watches your videos. Now, along with this launch of YouTube Studio Beta, the CEO of YouTube actually has made some important announcements. And one of those announcements is supposedly a commitment to learning and education. And so I thought we'd watch this short segment on her focus on learning and education.
Number 5, learning and education. We think about YouTube as the world's biggest video library, and we have made learning on YouTube one of our top priorities. In recent months, booktubers came together for a booktubeathon to read books and inspire others to do the same. We also saw Study With Me videos gain popularity. Today, we launched several new programs as part of a $20 million investment in YouTube Learning, including a learning fund to support learning creators. If you're interested in this program, fill out the form linked below.
And so that's something that all of us, of course, studying the role of video in education may want to keep an eye on. If you are interested in the YouTube Learning Fund, this is new to me, but there is information shown here, and it's something that you or your organizations may want to participate in or at least apply for. I do think there is funding for using video in different ways for educational purposes. And finally, I wanted to share with you this phenomenon called Study With Me videos. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these, but these are videos that people are producing, which are basically videos of them studying. And there was actually an article in the Wall Street Journal not too long ago titled, "Quiet, I'm Cramming for Finals by Watching Someone Else Study." And there's a quote in that article that says, "These study videos aren't tutorials. Their stars sit at their desks, sometimes without saying a word, and they aren't amateur study hour either. Many of the videos feature high production values, tight editing, and multiple camera angles." So I think as folks studying instructional video and video as it's being used in education, I'm very intrigued by these Study With Me videos. So let's watch a couple seconds of each of these. So this first one is a woman who appears to be studying for some sort of medical exam, and the name of her channel is called the Strive Studies. And let's take a look at one more. This is from a channel or a YouTube screen name called Study Quill. And let's watch a couple of minutes here where she demonstrates how she actually uses Post-it notes to mark things in a book.
Hey guys! In today's Study With Me video, I'll be showing you the studying and schoolwork that I usually do after I get home from school. I usually get home sometime between 5:30 and 6 o'clock because of sports practice, and then I have dinner and I shower, and I usually start doing schoolwork sometime between 6:30 and 7.
Okay, finally, video project 2. We're into week 12. Last week you focused on your storyboards, so now we're coming into production. Of course, filming in this context is going to mean something different depending on whether you're screencasting, using Powtoon or VideoScribe or some other software. Others of you may be building a slide deck in PowerPoint or Keynote, doesn't matter. One of the things you'll probably want to do here is also record your audio. Now in my workflow, I actually record the audio separately, and then I edit that audio. I take out all the ums and ahs. I tighten up the audio really carefully, and then I work with WeVideo or Camtasia or my video editing software to lay in the slides over the video voiceover that I've already recorded and edited. So that's my approach. Okay, finally, thank you for having fun with the unintentionally funny storyboard drawing contest. The results are in. 18 of you actually voted. It was just such good fun. Thank you for your good sense of humor. There were some fantastic entries here, and I really appreciate you guys having fun with me. I just couldn't help it. They were too funny not to share with everyone. So we actually have a clear winner, which I'll announce in just a second, but we also had a 4-way tie for second place. And so the 4-way tie goes to Sunny with her profound What is Distance Learning, Keahe's Minimalist Agency and Colonization, Faith's Artistic Whirling Dervishes, and Ty's Muscular Demonstrating the Forehand. So all 4 of those each scored two votes each. So congratulations everyone, all 4 of you came in, you're tied for second place. But the grand winner is the person who can have bragging rights for the rest of the semester and beyond is Casey, who actually got 6 votes for his atmospheric, "Hey bartender, 1 martini please." Congratulations, Casey. That's a great storyboard picture. And of course, we're all super impressed with how your storyboard actually came to life in your video, which is really inspiring for all of us. Okay, everyone, we're out of time. Good luck with the production of Video Project 2. That's all for now. I'll see you online. Thanks.